beyond the three areas of technical assistance, capacity building, and knowledge or experience sharing, which you identified. I'm also glad to note that some of the chairmen of the state electoral commissions have served either as regular staff of INEC, some of them served as directors and administrative secretaries, or some of them actually served as resident electoral commissioners. Elder Anyedi Ikoiwak, the chairman of the Akwa Ibom State Electoral Commission, was a resident electoral commissioner in a number of states. I think his last posting before he took a bow was in Rivers State. I can also see Ahmed Kura Makama. Okay, you have removed it now. It used to be there.
It has never been.
Okay.
I was quarreling with ATUC when you put me for senatorial election.
Okay.
I said, why did you give the question?
Don't argue too much because you have your record here.
There is no problem.
There is a record here. Okay. Okay, there is no Kura, but there is Makama.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I welcome Ahmed Makama, minus the Kura, subject to confirmation of the records. Ahmed Makama was a resident electoral commissioner in a number of states. His last posting was actually to Yobe State as rec, from where, by the affliction of time, he took a bow. And I want to welcome the other members of the executive, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Anambra. You not long ago conducted local government elections. Paskari from Katsina, you also conducted your local government elections. And the justice from Egiti, you conducted also your own local government elections. However, while both INEC and SIEC are creations of the Constitution, some responsibilities for electoral activities are actually exclusively those of INEC. For example, voter registration is exclusive responsibility of INEC, but we are under obligation to make the register of voters available, the current register of voters available to the state electoral commissions. Secondly, we also create and allot voters to polling units, and we make these polling units available to the state electoral commissions. INEC is also the sole registrar and regulator of political parties. So we make available to the state electoral commissions the list of political parties for local government elections. And no SIEC, State Independent Electoral Commission, has ever been denied the voters register, the list of polling units, or the list of political parties for elections. We have always discharged this responsibility promptly and will continue to do so. I'm glad that the chairman of the chairmen of state electoral commissions drew our attention to the provision of the law. I wish to draw your attention to the importance of adhering to the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 pertaining to local government elections, particularly the omnibus provision of Section 151 and Sections 98 to 113 dealing with the procedure for area council elections in the Federal Capital Territory, which the law says equally applies to the conduct of local government elections across the country. Your role is significant to credible elections in Nigeria. Local government elections, just like local government areas, are the foundation not only of credible election but development, and will continue to partner with you in this regard. I'm glad to note that virtually all the states of the Federation now have elected local government councils. But you'll also agree with me that the challenge with local government elections is the quality of the elections. So I hope there will be an opportunity for us in closed-door session to discuss how INEC can partner with state electoral commissions to continue to improve on the quality of these elections. We share responsibility with the state electoral commissioners on the conduct of local government elections. Your mandate is exclusively the conduct of local government elections. Our responsibility is the conduct of national elections, as well as the local government election, but only in the Federal Capital Territory, where INEC has responsibility for the conduct of local government elections. Therefore, the best cooperation that can exist between INEC and the state independent electoral commissions is for the state electoral commissions to continue to strive to conduct local government elections in the manner that INEC has done so in the Federal Capital Territory. As you know, the FCT is the only part of the country where there has never been a caretaker committee in the 6 area councils. Elections have been conducted regularly, initially for a period of 3 years, but with the amendment to the Electoral Act, the tenure has been streamlined to 4 years, just like the executive and legislative elections conducted by INEC. There has never been a caretaker committee in the Federal Capital Territory. The elections are held regularly, and that no one party has ever won all the elections in the FCT. And we have functional offices in all the 6 area councils in the FCT. And there is, equally importantly, the importance of forward planning in the conduct of elections. For instance, the next area council election in the FCT takes place in February next year. But early this year, we released the timetable and schedule of activities for the election, over 360 days ahead of the election, as provided by law. It is on this note that I would like to seize this opportunity to draw your attention to the judgment of the Supreme Court, which the chairman of FOSIECON alluded to, on the conduct of local government elections. Conducting local government elections without serving the mandatory statutory notice long before the election contravenes the judgment of the Supreme Court. Recent announcement by a state electoral commission, which gives in effect 21 days notice, is not only a violation of the law and the subsisting judgment of the Supreme Court, it is also a practical problem. Within 21 days, how do you expect political parties to conduct primaries, nominate candidates, organize campaign, and for the Electoral Commission to conduct voter education, recruit and train ad hoc staff, manage logistics, and organize security for the election? It's practically impossible to do that within 21 days. So as the umbrella body of all state electoral commissions, carry this message to your members about the importance of complying with statutory timelines for the conduct of local government elections. The chairman mentioned financial constraint militating against SIECs. Money is never always readily available and sufficient for elections and electoral activities. But for SIECs, your challenge actually goes beyond funding. I believe that money is only a facilitator. But without a clear definition of processes and procedures, no amount of money will solve any problem. But I want to assure you that INEC will continue to work in partnership with the state electoral commissions what you do or you don't do often negatively impacts on INEC. Because there are so many people who think that the state electoral commissions are actually state INEC, sometimes including some of the candidates that contest in local government elections. I saw one on television who one day said, after collecting his nomination or clearance forms by the State Electoral Commission, came out of the building, stood in front of the signboard for the SIEC, and proudly announced that he has just been cleared by INEC for local government elections. INEC does not conduct local government elections outside the Federal Capital Territory. So we are joined in the hip with the state electoral commissions, and be rest assured that we will continue to do whatever we can do to support the conduct of credible elections at the basic and most important level, which is the local government system. So I thank you very much for coming. Once again, be rest assured that we continue to work with SIEC to improve the conduct, credibility, and transparency.